This is the first ever episode of Masters of PR Live brought to you by Wikipedia.com. And, I couldn't be more thrilled and, actually to kick off this journey with someone very, very special. And he's my very old friend, a seasoned PR professional, and, ex-colleague also. I'm talking about Jitendra Jha, and we call it very fondly by the name of JJ. So JJ, in fact, a lot of people know him by the name of JJ. Very few people would probably call him Jitendra Jha. And like I told you, this is the very first episode of Masters of PR Live. Also, it is my very first LinkedIn Live. So if you find me nervous, though I'm not going to do the talking, I'll be just asking the questions. But if I go anywhere wrong, please try and understand that this is the first time that I'm doing. Coming back to JJ, JJ had an illustrious career, having led corporate sports practice as a senior vice president at Practice PR for over 17 years. He has been, very, very active across sectors like aviation, pharmaceuticals, infrastructure, and also sports. Sports is probably his second love kind of a thing. First, obviously, is at home. Yeah, I would have said the otherwise, but he is at home right now. He has been creating impactful campaigns and leading a very high performance team. And recently, not very recently, but for me, quite recent, he ventured into an entrepreneurship career and he started his own PR firm called 3M Media Works. And I'm super, super excited to dive into his journey. So JJ sir, welcome. Uh,
Thank you very
and
much,
how are you
Vikram.
feeling today? Yeah.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much for actually inviting me for this masterclass, and I'm really excited to be here and chat with you. Uh, Whatever you want to know, and I'm all open to you.
So let's start at the very beginning. Before you became a PR veteran, what is your career like? What were you doing, and what initially drew you into the world of PR, and how has the journey been so far?
So if I have to actually look back into my career and the number of years that I spanned by, I can divide it into three broad buckets. First, basically, I am a chemical engineer, so I did my qualification is of a chemical engineer, and because of that, I actually got into manufacturing. So I did my first stint as a young lad who came out of engineering college and joined manufacturing of chemicals. So that was one stretch that I had. And once things didn't work out well in the manufacturing sector, I moved to marketing of chemicals. So I have been in this space for say about 15 years or so, doing these kind of stuff. And after that, while I was doing my marketing, I somehow got an opportunity, and this is by accident actually. I always, uh, I always feel that this is what destiny had for me, and that's the reason by accident I actually came into PR. I came as a person for marketing in PR. I did not have any understanding or knowledge about PR that time. My friend was a part of a agency, and he brought me in and he said that we require somebody to do the what we call today NBD, new business development. So I came in as that, and because it was a small organization and the team was small, so I mean, when you have small teams, what happens is that everybody does everything, and I got pulled into this whole thing of client servicing, and NBD was part of that, and then media relations and things like that. But somehow I started feeling that I mean, this is what I am interested in. I spent all my education and my earlier part of my life doing things that maybe somewhere down the line I was not so interested, and maybe that's the reason why the destiny brought me into PR, and I have not seen a day gone by which has not brought me pleasure and growth. So from that was my journey when I came in to the PR industry, and after that I moved to some agencies, and last stint was with Ad Factors. I was the senior vice president, corporate and sports. And in Ad Factors, one thing that again by accident came to us was the BCCI mandate, and where Mr. Lalit Modi was starting the IPL. That was the
Yeah.
trigger point where and when you pointed out that it's my second love, and truly it became my second love, because India was in a very kind of a not it was not ready for sports PR. Ad Factors actually started sports PR in this country, and I was part of that team that started the whole thing. So I was very excited to be part of the sports thing, and we managed the IPL for the first 3 years till Mr. Lalit Modi was there. Then we moved on with Mr. Anurag Thakur, and then Rahul Johri, and and things like. And then it became part of my life, and then sports was the focus area for me, and I continue to do that for Ad Factors currently also. Over the period of time after 17 years, I mean, traveling to all the way to Lower Parel, and then earlier to Churchgate, and then to Lower Parel. Somewhere down the line, I thought that I was missing out on a lot of things in life, and I wanted to go on a little slow pace, and that's when I decided to take that entrepreneurial journey. While everybody says that once you become an entrepreneur, that's more it's more difficult to give time or make time for yourself, but that's not true. I've been in this now for a couple of years now, and but I think that this is what I will continue doing till the time I can do. So that's the kind of three broad buckets of my life story.
But even to jump into a PR career, you took 15 years. You spent 15 years as a
Yeah,
non-PR,
right,
and
right.
after that you jumped into PR. So obviously, the world of PR is a lot different from what probably you must be doing at marketing. What are the initial challenges that you faced, and how did you really overcome
So what I in the very initial stage, I understood one very basic thing, that in PR, and the stronger relationship with you have with your peers, your seniors, your the media, to be precise. So everybody would look up to a person who would be the star in the team, who would deliver, and it became a very natural tendency, because what I will tell you, Vikram, why I succeeded, and I want to believe that. So this is my very personal view on that, and other people can have a different view on that. But the reason I succeeded is because very in the initial stages, I saw that if I am able to deliver to the required mandate, I would very well be able to climb the ladders of what PR industry is all about. And that's where it got me onto I could move faster in that whole sense, and very I in fact my the third job was branch head of Mumbai, and my years of experience in working experience, not PR experience, working experience. Because after a certain age, you know how to communicate with people, you know how to handle people, you know how to manage stuff, you know how to circumvent things like crisis and things like that. That comes very naturally with age, with maturity. That was on my side, and that's the reason why I think I succeeded. If I had come as a rookie, as a kid out of college, and I would have taken much more time to succeed in this business, which age was on my side, so I could understand a lot of things that the young kids would not understand. It's more like that. See, managing relationship is all about people management. So if you know how to manage people, and you have a certain level headedness and that certain level of maturity, there is nothing that is not possible. And that's what I think that worked for me.
Tell me, did you always envision to be an entrepreneur, or again, this was an accident, like getting into PR?
No, this was not an accident. I come from a business background. My father used to, and that's the reason why I got into chemical engineering. My father used to have a business of his own, and he was a chemical in the early stages when we were just very small kids. He had a manufacturing facility manufacturing phenolic resins, which was quite unique in that sense. Not many people used to manufacture that. So his whole idea was that he needed to grow the business, and he wanted one of the sons. We had two brothers, so one of the sons to actually take over the business and do it. But destiny would not have it that way. By the time I finished my engineering and I was out, the business had actually wounded up. So
Okay.
there was always this thing in the family that the business has to be done.
Yeah.
So eventually, I someday I would have done this, but after so many years of experience, and my last stint was with ad factors and PR, so that came very naturally to me, and that's the reason why I chose to start a agency of my own.
But tell me, transitioning from a very, very successful career, I've seen you had a very large team, a plush office, uh, you know, the authority that you would probably, you would then have. Your family would be probably, expecting a certain kind of, you probably had certain kind of expectations, and then suddenly you jump into entrepreneurship. So how the transitioning was it easier for you as well as for your family to accept it? How did all that go in those initial years when you actually started 3M?
So, Vikram, there are two parts to this. One is from you cannot succeed without the support of your family. Let me be very frank. And anybody saying that I can take an entrepreneurial jump, it's like everybody would look at me in the initial stage like this guy has got midlife crisis, and he does not know what to do. And a job, and like you really pointed out, it was a plush office, 50 people working for me, and it was everything was working for me that time, everything. And I mean, and whoever saw that I had put in my papers would not believe that because I still have a very good relationship with the owners of ad factors. So nobody would believe that I actually put in my papers. But what was happening, Vikram, is that sometimes you want to look back to what you have done to yourself in terms of your family and your personal space. And I would tell my, and this is actually my routine. I would get up at like early 6 o'clock in the morning, get ready, and by 7:30 I would be out because the traffic is so bad on the road. It would take 2 hours to reach there. I stay in Mira Road. The office is in Churchgate. It takes 2 hours to reach there. So I would leave office by around 9:30, reach home by 11, have dinner, go to sleep again. The next morning 6 o'clock, and then the routine was for every day. The routine was the same. I have seen myself taking naps in cars. I mean, not being able to complete my sleep pattern on a Saturday, Sunday when you were actually not working. That was the day when you want to spend time with the family, but that was the time when I was just sleeping for myself. My body would not support that. So family was seeing what was happening. I mean, while everything is important in life, but it is also important that you spend time with your family. So that was also a part. And then family supported me, and they said that whatever works for you, we have no problem. I mean, there is only so much that is requirement from our side, so you can take a call whenever you want to do it. It took me 2 years to decide to move on. It is not an easy decision. When you use the word easy, it is not easy. It took me 2 years to decide that I must move on, because actually again I say that I could have not had a better life in ad factors. I was in the senior most position, and I was doing everything was going on for me. But taking that call was more, from my point of view, was that my children. I have not seen my children grow properly. By the time I leave a home, they are sleeping. Then they go to school and they come back, and then they are sleeping when I come back. So it was a little disrupted kind of a format. But now my children are all grown up, and now they say, "Why are you at home all the time?" So it's like that. It was supposed to. It would have happened eventually. So it took me 2 years, and then I took that decision to let's take a break and do something of our own, because then you have control over how much you want to do and where do you want to draw the line. When you're working with somebody, you cannot decide on when you want to draw the line, because we are responsible, accountable people. So we don't want to actually, I mean, there is that accountability, responsibility of a senior level, that you have to do it, even if you don't want to do it. But in your business, you can decide, I draw my line here. I will not do beyond this. It's like that. So it's difficult.
And
And the initial years are always struggle. No business gives you the returns in the first year. No business. No business in this world will
yeah,
give you the first year returns. It will take time. So I gave the time to it. And now, by the grace of God, everything is working fine.
great. So let's talk about your company 3M Media Works. What services do you offer, and how do you actually differentiate yourself in the industry that's already very competitive? And what are the clients that you're working with, and within that, what excites you the most? What are the industries that excite you?
So broadly, I'll tell you, when I thought of making that plunge and starting my own thing, it was very very important for me to be able to address that gap. And when I mean gap is that everybody does it, but I thought I saw the gap, and it was all about so in that whole journey of marketing, because we are part of a marketing team. I always saw that the marketing team requires a plethora of activities, and PR is just part of it. It is not only PR. And there was always some other team working with you. It be it the events team, or be it the designers, or be some team is always working with you. It was never about you, the PR, because you would get mandates coming from the events guy that this is what we are doing, or you would give mandate to somebody that this is the videographer, we want it like that. All that would happen, keep happening all the time. So what I decided was that I wanted to start an organization. This is a one window shopping, wherein you will tell me, and I'm accountable. I'm not an event agency, I'm a PR agency, but I will bring my people on board, and I will ensure the quality, and I will do the briefing to that person. So tomorrow, you don't have to talk to ABC person, but you have to talk to Jitendra Shah, saying that why this thing did not happen, or why this thing happened, or how good this happened. Everything, all accountability, responsibilities of Jitendra Shah, irrespective of the people who come and work. So that's what I brought to the table. So currently, my core is definitely going to be PR, and always going to be PR. But I do designing, I do advertising as in video TVCs. So I do that. I do events. So all these, I have my friends in the circle. I've been in the business long enough to have friends, and these friends are doing their own businesses. But when I get a client to do a certain thing, then they work under me. So then they're accountable, and I'm responsible. So it's like that. So there is a collaborative kind of a format that I have formed with these guys, and I bring them to the table. So while I do not have a margin between what an events guy is going to charge, there is a direct billing kind of a format with zero margin, but it is very very transparent. that you will act accordingly. So I am the person, I'm your client. So that has been devised in such a way that because I do not take any margins in between, they are very happy to collaborate with me, because I'm also a marketing arm for them, for all my
Yeah.
collaborators. So it's more like that. So
What are
that
the
is what I
clients that?
offer.
Yeah.
So I work with different sectors basically, and currently, because I am a consultant to Ad Factors on the sports mandate, I do not work on sports clients. So what I do is I provide consultancy to anybody who wants on sports, but my clients are in IT space, AI space. My clients are in education space. I have got a medical healthcare wellness company that I work with. I've got a company that works with on mental well-being only. So I got it's a boutique agency. So I've got around 5 clients, and that keeps me busy the whole day.
Right. Talking about sports, sports was something that you always attached to, and you're still doing,
Yeah,
work with
yeah.
advocacy. Why is that segment so interesting to you? And you know, can you tell us something about your you know your knowledge, understanding about the sport practice, and what is the scope for sports PR in India?
So I can tell you that sports PR has over the years grown in multiplied itself because of the success of IPL. Many people have actually got into sports. Corporate are looking this as a engagement format now. A lot of sponsorships are coming. There are the kind of money that is coming into sports, and everybody wants to put in the money to gain eyeballs. So marketing is now looking at sports very actively, which was not there earlier. Because of that, a lot of leagues have come up, a lot of teams have come up, and all those people now are looking for sponsorships. And you can only get sponsorship unless you are visible. And PR plays a very important role in building the visibility for that brand. So that's why I think the future in India is very bright. So youngsters who are actually looking into getting into sports should definitely look at it. It's not only from a sports PR point of view, but also to be part of a sporting industry. There are a lot of people that are required now in this juncture, where you can be part of the management, the sponsorship team. You can be part of the accessories kind of a format, where you are actually interacting with sports and managing sports to a different level. So digital marketing itself, social media, all that is really working very good, and there are large companies who are actually got themselves into this now. And I think it is a good practice to develop, and the future is very bright for sports in this country.
Great. So, let's move ahead. And as we, today all know that technology is rapidly changing the entire landscape of PR and communication. You're now seeing advancements happening in AI, data analytics, and digital media. How is 3M Media or JJ adapting to this changing? Does it worry you because you've been there, done that. You've seen many phases of technology and communication changing. Now, does this phase worry you?
So Vikram, so there are two parts to this. One is that if you want to survive, you have to be agile and adaptable. You cannot be rigid, and that's the game. That's the game for for any industry. So PR also falls into that same bucket, wherein you have to keep changing with the requirement of your clients. And I believe, and because I work with one of the leading proponents of AI, so I believe, and this is my personal belief, even if I was not working with him, that AI is here to stay. You can deny it, and you can say that it's good or bad, or you can have this discussion till the cows come home. But that's not the point. The point is that AI is here to stay in whatever format. they will eventually evolve into. So every day there is something new happening, and that will keep evolving. So if you, it's almost like, I mean, if I give you an analogy, it's like computers. Now there is nothing that you can do without computers. So the point is that, when first time you had those, desktop computers, and those HP computers, and those laser printers and things like that, I mean, those dot matrix printers and all that, it was very, very, I mean, a lot of people had difficulty. We come from old school, right? So we've been part of that also. It was slow, and it was bad, and all those kind of stuff, and it was so difficult. You had to learn the language, and all that thing was so difficult, because it was new that time. But nobody had an option of saying that, yaar ye nahi karega to chalega. It does not work like that. That it is the changing dynamic of the market. You cannot do without it, because everybody will be using it. So tomorrow, if you don't use it, so people are talking about, what AI is going to take your job and things like that, but it's not like that. It is very, very clear. If you do not have AI knowledge in the next 5 years, somebody with an AI knowledge will actually take your job. AI is not taking your job. There is a person taking your job. That person will take your job, and that's a guarantee. He will take your job because he has the knowledge of AI and the new technology that is being used. Because who wants a person who is outdated? Tell me. I mean, as an entrepreneur also, today, would you take somebody who's a 12th pass, who does not understand English, and he has to communicate to the client or the media? You will not. Why will you take that person? It is exactly like that. You will have to take people only with knowledge on that subject. Today, a digital marketing agency or a social media agency, can they take somebody who does not have an Instagram account? They can't. You have to be on Instagram, you have to be on Facebook, you have to be on LinkedIn. If you are not there, then you are not equipped. It's as simple as that. So I am not worried about that. And we are agile, we are adaptable, we are a small team. हमारे लिए इतना मारामारी नहीं है. People with thousands of people, they might feel that, what will I do now? I have to train all 1,000 people. It's like that. But for us, it's a small team, and we adapt to anything and everything that comes our way. And this is the advantage of a small boutique agency and an entrepreneur who is agile. So if my kids say that, I want to go on a training, on this training, I say, go ahead, do it. Karo, सीखो. आज नहीं आता है तो that is not an option. नहीं आता है तो चलेगा नहीं. You have to go and learn. If you want to learn, I am ready to sponsor your course. Go learn. Maybe I am not equipped right now to learn the new things, but I will also learn eventually. It's more like that.
Correct. And Jay, one of the things that that has always stood about you, and I've personally been witness to that, is your, positive attitude. Even in the high pressure situation, I've seen that so closely. So, what's JJ's mantra for maintaining a successful, career and happy life? What is that keeps you going?
So Vikram, I mean, there's no mantra as such, but what has worked for me, I can tell you that. What has worked for me, that however big the problem is, if you break the problems into smaller pieces, it is manageable. So a large problem, if you break it into small pieces and you take one step at a direction, what happens is people die out of anxiety only. Die as in, I'm not using the word die as in, you feel overwhelmed by it. That is the word for it, actually, not die. Overwhelmed by the problem and the situation that you are in. In anything in your life or in work, if you break the large problem into smaller pieces and play an actionable role in that. So if you have broken down into a smaller piece and I said, okay, fine, let me just finish up this first, then I will look at the next one and then next one. And, if you start doing that, then you're not wasting time thinking about the larger problem. What people usually do, they forget that, there can be a format to, work. Rather than thinking about it, start working in that direction to solve the problem. So life is also like that. That you have large problems, you break it into smaller pieces, do one piece at a time, and then you will see that this was not even a problem. We overthink the problem. My problem with people and the youngsters today, and a lot of youngsters are talking about stress, anxiety. People have branded PR as a most stressful job. People have done that. It has been branded as the most stressful job. I said, who made this stressful? You made it yourself. You are bothered about what people think about you. I say it cannot be a better job than PR. Why? It is the most gratifying job. And you don't need your boss, you don't need your friends, you don't need anybody to tell you that you have done a good job. If you take any other job, take a marketing job, do anything, you will have somebody who will endorse that you did a good job. In PR, you don't have to do that. Tomorrow morning, you had a big, large spread in Times of India, in Hindu, in wherever and you know that you have done a good job. Even if your boss does not tell you that you've done a good job, you know that you have got the narrative that you wanted for the client. The client does not have to tell you that you did a good job. You have done a good job, you know that. So it's a self-gratifying job. इससे अच्छा क्या हो सकता है? तो इससे ज्यादा अपना स्ट्रेस निकालने के लिए just get more coverage. अपना स्ट्रेस वैसे निकल जाएगा, टेंशन क्यों लेने का? It is as simple as that. This is what it is, breaking larger problems into small. Client ने mandate दिया, I have to launch this thing and I want it everywhere. This is that, and all that. And then the young kid is sitting there and says, oh, baap re, kaise karega? How is it possible? How will I do this? He wants this also. The star is asking for the sun and the moon and the star. What do I do now? Act. Just act. Get the low hanging fruits first. फिर उसके बाद कुछ कर. Life का मंत्र नहीं होता यार. You have to make life easy. The more you make life easy, the better it is for you, because it's good for your mental health. आजकल के बच्चे लोग को आधा से ज्यादा टाइम डिप्रेशन में रहता है. Depression is not because you are working hard or you're working late hours. Depression is because you're thinking hard. Full time you're just thinking, now what will happen? What did he say about me? They both are talking and they are saying something about me only. Why? Why will they talk about you? उसके पास कोई काम धंधा नहीं है. अपने बारे में सोचो ना. What others are thinking about you matters to you, but what you think about yourself does not matter to you. Believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, everything can happen. You are the star, boss. You are the one who will make the change. Nobody else will do it for you. So that's the simple way of life. I think if people start believing in that, that's all. You have to believe in yourself.
Great. Well, that's JJ for you. Thank you, JJ. Thank you for sharing such an incredible journey and insights with us today. It has been an absolute pleasure having you as a first guest on Masters of PR Life. For everyone watching, if you enjoyed this session, don't forget to follow Wikipedia.com. We're going to soon launch it, and JJ will be our first guest there. And remember, this is just the beginning. We'll be bringing you more stories, tips, and industry insights from multiple masters of PR. Till next time, keep learning, stay curious, and never stop communicating. Thanks again, JJ, and thank you to an amazing audience for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for bringing me on board. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.